Gewoon aan uw auto maar aan uw. Staat allemaal juist. En dat is het volume. Dus,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome all of you here in the Kaliningrad Arena and welcome to pre-match press conference with the national team of Belgium. We'll start this press conference first with player and then we'll continue with coach. So I wish a warm welcome to player Thomas Vermaelen and team press officer Stefan Van Look. But before we start, I would like to remind you that there is simultaneous translation. Just select your language, channel 1 English, channel 2 Russian, channel 3 French, and Dutch is channel 4. Please use one of those languages for your questions, and then when you ask a question, say your name, the organization you work for, and also let us know which language you are going to use. Photographers will be able to take photos during the first 5 minutes, and then may I kindly ask you to stop, and you can stay here and wait for the coach, but without shooting more. Now we are going into your questions. Please raise your hand and wait for the microphone. Microphone, please, here in the second row.
yeah, second row.
Yes.
Vanuit het Nieuwsblad. Wat zijn jouw plannen op langere
Yes,
termijn
a question
bij
from
de
Newsblad. What are your
Devils?
plans in the long term with the Red Devils? Are you going to play until you drop dead? Or could this tournament be your last, depending on the results? Answer. This is not something I've been thinking about. It's something for later. And anyway, if there's no reason to stop playing football, particularly not now, I feel great. So I haven't given it any thought at all.
Nederlandse televisie. Je wint van Panama, je wint van
Dutch
Tunesië, je
television.
hebt ervaring.
You beat Panama,
Heb je
you
nou
beat
enig idee
Tunisia, you have this experience.
hoe
Do
ver
you
jullie
have
zijn?
any
Wat is
idea
jullie rek?
how
Waar
far
is de
you've
lat?
come?
Want de
I
test
mean,
blijft
what
nog
is your
steeds uit, de
leverage?
grote
Where
test.
is the limit? Because you haven't really been facing the real genuine test. Well, if you look at the matches against Panama and Tunisia, perhaps not the strongest teams with all due respect, but look at the scores, and I would say the way we played was positive, of course, and of course there's room for improvement, and hopefully we will be able to grow throughout the tournament, but the results are not obvious. So just look at what happened with Germany, so you never know what's going to happen playing these countries.
Okay, yes, please.
Medisch ben je volledig fit, Thomas.
Medically speaking, Thomas, you are in shape.
Ben je wedstrijdfit ook, denk je?
Game you played was a long time ago. Do you think that you are fit for the game? Well, of course, it would have been more ideal to play more matches in the preparatory stage. It's not been that way. It's a shame, but I've trained and done my best to be as fit as possible and to start the match as fit as possible. I'm trying not to think about it too much. So now it's possible for me to play a match. It doesn't have to be an excuse, the fact that you haven't played all these matches.
Press Association in English. Can you tell me, as a defender, how good you think Harry Kane is, how well he has played in this tournament so far, and maybe how he compares with Romelu Lukaku too?
I mean, he's what he's done in the league. I mean, of course, I can only judge it by seeing him on TV. He scored a lot of goals in the league. He's been very important for Tottenham, very important for the English national team as well. He's a complete striker. He's strong. He scores goals. The signals I hear from the Tottenham guys in our team are very positive, and yeah, for me, he's a world-class striker.
Class nieuws. toen jij in Engeland speelde, had je daar een heel goede reputatie. Dan
when
ook een
you
mooie
played
transfer
in
gemaakt.
England, you had an
Als ik zo
excellent
luister bij
reputation
de Engelse
and had this
collega's,
wonderful
heeft die reputatie
transfer.
een klein beetje een deuk gekregen.
But
door
what
die
about
blessures,
the
door
English,
minder gespeeld bij Barcelona.
the opinion
Ik
of
weet
the
niet, het
English?
gevoel
I
dat je
don't
wil
know what
tonen aan Engeland
happened
van,
at
ik ben nog steeds die
Barcelona.
topverdediger.
Do you want to show England that you
Dat
are
zijn
the
dingen
top
waar ik niet zoveel over
defender?
nadenk. Tuurlijk, ik
Well,
heb 4
I'm
jaar
not
geleden
giving
heb ik
these
Engeland
things too much
verlaten en
thought.
heb
4
ik
years ago, I left
met Barcelona
England,
een paar problemen gehad qua
and with
blessures, maar ik denk dat ik
Barcelona had some
de
problems, some
laatste seizoen toch een
injuries.
beetje uit de dal ben
But this
gekropen.
last
Ik heb
season,
een aantal
I
wedstrijden
think
gespeeld, ook
that
op een goed niveau. Dus
I improved and I played
het is
matches
eigenlijk
at a
zoiets
good
cool
level.
om aan de Engelse mensen iets
So-
te laten zien.
So it's not that I
het is wel
feel
zo
that
voor
I
mij is
need
ook
to
wel iets
show
of
the
wat een
English
speciale
people
wedstrijd omdat ik er lang
something,
heb gespeeld.
but it's going to be a special match
ik ken de
because I
cultuur ook
played
een
there
beetje
for
van
so
Engeland.
long, and I'm
het
quite
is wel een
familiar with the
wedstrijd waar ik,
culture in England. So
waar ik naar
quickly,
uitzie.
it's a match that I'm looking forward to.
Okay, let's go, please.
Van la dernière heure.
A question from la dernière
je
heure.
bent nu de oudst van de groep. Het is een rare gevoel voor jou. En voor jou, sorry. Ken je een beetje,
Well, I'll
de
try in
vader,
Dutch.
de grote broer van de
What about you?
de
Are
groep?
you the big brother of the
Het is zo
group,
dat ik
the
de
father of
oudste
the
van,
group,
van
perhaps?
de ploeg ben, dat klopt qua leeftijd.
Well, yes, I am the
denk dat
oldest
er heel
one,
veel bij ons
yes,
in
in
de ploeg
terms of
zitten
age
die-
I am, but there are many
die de
players
leidersfiguur kunnen
in
vervullen.
our
en,
team that can
die
play
heel
this
belangrijk
role of
belangrijk zijn voor
leader,
het team. En dat maakt niet
players
zozeer
that are
uit
very, very
de
important for the
leeftijd.
team,
Als
so
je
it doesn't
kijkt
really
naar,
matter how old you are.
Vertongen of een
No, I mean, look at Vertongen
Company, die zijn een paar
or
jaar jonger dan mij, maar die zijn ook allemaal
Company. They're just a couple of years younger than I am,
van de
but they're
ploeg.
all
Dus daar-
leaders,
dat maakt niet zoveel uit wat de
so it
leeftijd is.
doesn't really matter what the age is.
Goedemiddag, van Sporza. Als je morgen
Good
mag
afternoon,
spelen,
I'm
is
from
dat een wedstrijd
Sporza.
waarin als de bondscoach
If you
tenminste doet wat hij
can
heeft
play
aangekondigd,
tomorrow, and if
heel
your
veel
coach
spelers,
is going to
misschien bijna alle
do
spelers,
what he
anderen zullen zijn,
announced,
spelers die in
then
principe niet
most
in de
players would be
basisploeg
different
staan.
players,
En je
players
gaat
that
een
were not
wedstrijd
in the
spelen
basic
waarvan
lineup.
zo ongeveer
Then you would be
iedereen,
playing a
uitgesproken
match
anderen
of which
stiekem
almost
vinden dat je dit
everybody
beter niet moet winnen. Omdat
feels
let
that
op
you could better not
de
win that
tabellen, hoe
match.
dat
Not
zich
everybody is
ontwikkelt.
saying so,
Is dat
not
dan een
everybody is
vrolijke
being
wedstrijd om te
outright and
spelen,
saying
of
so.
is dat een soort
But is
verdrietig
this a
geschenk
nice
voor,
match
niet alleen voor jou, maar
to
voor de
play, or
andere
is it like a sort of blessing in
Het is
disguise, or
duidelijk
what
dat
is
allebei
it?
de teams door zijn en dat er
Well, it's clear
niets
that
meer op het
both
spel staat,
teams
maar
are moving on,
kijk,
and
degenen die op het veld staan, die gaan niet op het veld staan om te verliezen. Dat is bijna
the people who
onmogelijk.
are on
Persoonlijk gezien
the turf are not there
kun je dat niet
to
doen om op het veld te
lose.
stappen om te verliezen.
And
En
personally,
als
I mean, you
voetballers
cannot
die
walk onto the
denken
pitch
niet zo ver na
to
op de tweede of
lose.
de
I
eerste
mean, that's
plaats.
not the way
Wij willen gewoon de
footballers
wedstrijd winnen.
think. They don't
En
think
dat
about
is het enige wat
coming first or second. They just want to win the match. That's the only thing that
om
counts.
wedstrijd per wedstrijd
And
te
I would
kijken.
say
Als je
that's
te
the
ver
best
gaat
tactic
vooruit
to
kijken wat er
go
kan
from
gebeuren
one
in de
match to the
achtste
next. I mean, if you're going to look ahead,
sowieso
what's going to
missen
happen
in
in
de
the
wedstrijd ervoor.
semi-final and
Het
the
is belangrijk
final.
dat we eerst
I
kijken
mean,
naar
things will
morgen.
go wrong.
Dan
They'll
zullen
go
we
terribly
zien
wrong.
wie
It'll
of- wie
backfire.
onze
It doesn't
tegenstander is
work
en
that
waar we
way.
moeten spelen.
And also to think about who our opponent will be and where we will play. We're not doing that.
Just wait. Okay, next question there.
Thomas, here in the middle. Question in English. Bernardo Melo from Mo Global. In this World Cup is the first that the members of the technical staff and the bench have electronic communication to communicate with members of the staff outside of the bench. As a player who's inside the pitch, do you feel that this changed in some way the orientations of the coach, the kind of orientation that you receive during the match?
I mean, it's something that definitely can help, yeah. I mean, if you're high up the stands, it can give you a better view and can help the coach and can help the team.
Just a second, please. Now let's go.
Алексей Анкудинов, вопрос на русском. Томас
Алексей
сборную
Анкудинов.
Бельгии вот называют
A question in
теневыми
Russian.
фаворитами, называют сборную
You are
Бельгии.
called the
Какой
shadow
настрой сейчас
favorites,
царит в
the
команде?
team of Belgium.
Вы
What is the
считаете
mood
себя вот
in
сборной
the
именно
team?
топ-уровня, прям сильной
Do
командой?
you believe that Belgium is a top team, one of the best?
Once more.
Could you please repeat your question, please?
Томас сборную Бельгии называют
The national team
теневыми
of Belgium
фаворитами
is
чемпионата
called
мира этого.
the
Вот вы
shadow
считаете
favorites of
себя
the World Cup. Do you
топ-сборной? Какой
believe
настрой
that
царит
you
в команде?
are
Вы
a
вот
top
верите в
team?
свою победу
What
вообще на
is the mood
Мундиале?
in the team? Do you believe in your victory at the World Cup?
In het Engels of in het Engels? Natuurlijk zijn we niet de topfavoriet van het toernooi, maar ik heb ons altijd wel gezien als outsiders die een kans hebben om te winnen. Ik heb voorlopig goede resultaten geboekt, ook met redelijk goed spel. Dus ik denk dat het toernooi voor ons positief is begonnen. Uiteindelijk denk ik, wat ik net ook al zei, is het belangrijk dat we niet te veel vooruit kijken en niet te veel al denken aan kwartfinale, halve finale en vooral wedstrijd voor wedstrijd. En dan zie je wel hoe ver we komen en weten waar we ons kunnen verbeteren in de afgelopen
where we need to improve. We know that from the past few matches, and we're just going to try to do better the next match.
Okay, next question, please.
Of jij morgen aanvoerder bent en als je het nog
Do
niet
you
weet,
already
zou het
know
heel
whether you're
erg
going to
zijn.
be captain tomorrow? And
Nee, we
if you
weten
don't know
helemaal nog
yet,
niks
would you want to be
opstellingen
captain?
zien qua wisselingen.
Well, we don't know anything. We don't know the
meestal
lineup.
2 uur van tevoren wat de opstelling gaat zijn.
We don't know. Usually 2 hours before the match is when we are told.
Could you please pass the microphone here? Thank you.
Thomas Paul Hayward, Daily Telegraph in English. Are you and the Belgian players surprised by the step forward England have taken, and particularly their change in style? They're playing, dynamic attacking football. Did you expect that, and do you think they can carry on that way for the rest of the tournament?
Personally, I'm not really surprised what they're doing at the moment at the World Cup. I said it before. They're a young team, talented team, play for top teams in England. So, in one way, I expected this that they play that well, and I expect them to go far as well in this tournament.
Okay, thank you very much, Thomas.
Yep.
Thank you. Now we'll continue the press conference with the coach.
Yep.
Hello. You change.
That's yours. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. In case it's Russian. Okay. It's fine.
Can you start? Yeah. Okay, please, once again, raise your hand. The microphone, please, in the middle here. First of all, welcome to Coach Roberto Martinez.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, please.
Question from VG Norway in English. Are there any team here at the World Cup with better players than Belgium, do you think? And now, as the other favorites are maybe doing a little bit bad performances, how do you rate the chances of Belgium winning it?
Well, I think, good afternoon all. We all know the talent that we have. I think is the group of players that we have is a generation to be extremely proud, especially when Belgium, we got only 11 million population and you got some outstanding individuals. But unfortunately, the World Cup, as you can see, World Cup doesn't respect an individual, doesn't respect an individual talent. The World Cup only respects teams that they work hard for each other, that they work hard as a team, as a group, and they got a winning mentality. And then you see it. The World Cup is a very, very difficult tournament. The small margins are very clear. If you don't control the emotional aspect of the first game and you get a defeat, then it's very difficult to stop that negative effect that it has. We've seen Germany losing, obviously getting eliminated. Argentina very, very close to qualify. Spain probably finishing first in the group in a period of 5 minutes. So that's what the World Cup is. Very small margins and being ready for whatever the situation is in front of you.
Okay, just a second, please. Okay, now let's go.
I'm from China. I'm from China CCTV, and the question for coach is: we know the two players they play in China, Klasko and Wissler, and could you analyze about them? And do you want to they be the next starters in the next match? In the next match? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I think Axel and Yannick, they had a fantastic experience in China. I know there's a lot of talk about moving into such a different league and in such a contrasting league that the ones that they were performing. But I must admit that I think I've seen a real change in their maturity. I think going to China, it wasn't just what they do on the pitch. I think it's the expectations around them. They become big stars, big investments in their own clubs. They become people that they have to affect the team. I traveled to China, watched them in action, and I saw that real responsibility from them. So for Yannick and Axel, they brought that into the national team, and I've seen them almost growing as individuals more than footballers. They've been involved in the first 2 games, and then it's a little bit too early to tell you if they're going to be involved tomorrow or not.
Okay, let's go.
Ludo van der Wallen voor het Nieuwsblad in België. Roberto,
Ludo van der Wallen for the Nieuwsblad in Belgium.
You said there will be major changes in your team. Is that still the case? And will it depend on the games that play Brazil tonight and Colombia tomorrow? Can that change your opinion in a way?
Well, at the moment we are qualified, and I think that was the priority that we were chasing for. Then now we need to look into our individual players. Tomorrow we want to perform well, but I think the priority is not to win. That's the reality. We put ourselves in this situation. We wanted to qualify. We've done that. There are players in yellow cards. I don't think it would be professional from us to put those players in a risk to miss the knockout phase. There are players that they've been in very demanding games. We played at 3 o'clock in Moscow. We played in Sochi with the humidity conditions that we had. So it's very important for us to protect, or just to give every player the best possible program to be in the best condition in the knockout game. And then you got, I meant it when we arrived in Moscow. I said that I believe in every player in this squad. So it would be quite stupid for me not to believe in these players for tomorrow. There are players that they work really well in training. They've earned the right to start in a World Cup. And I believe that we're going to be as good as the contribution of the 23 players. So tomorrow is a good opportunity for us as a team to grow. And after the final whistle, all I want is to have a group of players that they had a good performance, and that everyone then has got a better individual opportunity to contribute to the team going into the knockout phase. That's our priority. If with that we can win, great. But I think the priority is another one than just winning tomorrow.
Okay, next question there.
Daily Mirror, question in English. You talked about the quality of the individual players that you have in your squad. We've seen obviously a huge result today. Does that quality for you bring its own individual pressures because so much is expected of you to get the best out of those players going forward?
Yes, but I would say that that's done. I think the expectations are onto the players more than on myself. Remember that our players got a quite unique situation. They are footballers that at a very young age, they leave their environment, they leave their comfort zone, and they go and play abroad, develop as human beings, as footballers. Then they come back to Belgium as big stars, as you can imagine. So the expectation is on the players more than anything, but I think what I'm starting to see that they enjoy that expectation. It's not responsibility that affects them. It's the opposite. I think they embrace it. I think they used it in a great manner, especially in the last 2 games. And maybe that's a sign of maturity. These players now, they are in a very good moment of their careers. And it's a great sign when you see a player enjoying the expectations of the whole nation rather than feeling it as a chore, as a pressure. That's the way I see the players enjoying their football at the moment.
Just a second, please. And now the ladies, the middle. Okay.
Hello.
First of all, I'd like to ask you to give your reaction and assessment of Germany's exit from the World Cup. And then could you explain what you've learnt about the significance of Italian 90 to Belgian people and how much that will be mentioned in the build-up to this match?
Well, yeah, I think Germany, for me, is still one of the best teams in the world, if not probably in the top 2. So for them to be out in the group phase, it shows you that the small margins are there, clearer than ever. I think any team can prepare a game. The information, the technology that every team has now doesn't leave any secrets. You see today a team like South Korea, that they're out of the World Cup, and they prepared the game in a manner that they made it very, very difficult to Germany. So don't expect easy games. Don't expect things for granted in the World Cup. This is the best footballing tournament in the world. And then in terms of tournament, there is an emotional aspect of expectations, sometimes facing adversity, sometimes coping with disappointment, that it goes a little bit further than just having talented players on a football pitch to win games. I think that's very, very clear. And from that point on, I think the competition is going to be getting harder. I cannot see that changing. But I must admit, the small margins are getting even more important now to decide scorelines. Italian 90, I think it was it brought a lot of pain to Belgium people and Belgian fans. I think this is a different game. I think it's a celebration game. We got a lot of links between these two dressing rooms, players that they share the dressing rooms in the same league. There's many aspects that they've changed since then. At that point, it was one or the other. It was a knockout game. It would have been very different if Harry Kane would have not scored in the last minute against Tunisia. I think that would have been a very different game, and maybe then Platt's goal, it would have been a little bit of a memory for everyone. I think tomorrow's a celebration, and two teams can enjoy being qualified for the knockout phase.
Okay, just a second. Wait to finish translation. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Coach. Christophe Liberlo, Belang van Limburg. A couple of days ago, you said that it's possible that you're going to change the whole team. Is it also possible that you're going to change the goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois, or not?
No, I think that's. I don't think that changing the goalkeeper is an option. We believe immensely on Simon Mignolet and even Koen Castells. I think Simon Mignolet has been fantastic in the last game against Japan. For me, was man of the match, and he kept an incredible clean sheet. And he's always someone that we can rely in any moment. But I see the goalkeeping position as someone that he needs to benefit from playing minutes. Thibaut Courtois has been at a very good level, and I think it's positive for him to carry on playing. So I can guarantee you that he'll start tomorrow. In the outfield positions, it's different. I think it's very much playing minutes could change the opportunity of contributing for one player in the squad. The goalkeeping area is very different. I want to give continuity and allow the goalkeeper to be relaxed. And we all believe in trust on what Simon Mignolet can do, and even Koen Castells if they have to come on.
Okay. Yes, please.
Hello, Coach. Jan Vařeka from Czech Television. I will speak in English. Can you describe the situation about Romelu Lukaku and Vincent Kompany? I mean, their injuries and health situation.
I can't see you.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yes, Romelu Lukaku, we had very good news on the scan. It was no further damage, but it's still uncomfortable. I don't think he'll be training today, and I think we'll make a final assessment tonight in order for him to be involved or not. At the moment, is still in recovery phase, and he had a really difficult knock against Tunisia. But we're happy that probably tomorrow is one day too early, the game, but I don't think it's going to take any longer than that.
Okay, two last questions. First here and then here, there.
Roberto, Paul Hayward, Daily Telegraph in English. England have clearly improved. Can you explain that improvement? Was it switching to three at the back? Is it psychological? Has there been a spark, do you think, that you've spotted in the England team?
Well, for me, obviously I'm in the outside looking in, and what I see is Gareth Southgate that has brought all his success at the under-21s level, and almost knowing the house inside out, using the power of St. George Park. I think that's developed an England culture. I don't think it's about bringing players together and hoping that they're going to perform. I think there is a clear structure. I think there's been a real tactical awareness. There's been a change of system from the games in Scotland to go into different qualifying games. Now they found a system that suits this generation. There's a youth about them. There's an energy. There is a belief. There is a real desire. There is an incredible satisfaction every time they score a goal. So clearly for me it goes down to what Gareth Southgate is brought into this side. So I'm not surprised. Is a thinker, is a very meticulous worker, and I wish him the very best of luck after tomorrow.
Okay, the last question.
Steven de Voer, the Standard. I was just wondering, well, you're obviously not going to tell us what the team for tomorrow is going to be, which I totally understand, but do you already know yourself, or could the outcome of the games of tonight and tomorrow still change some of your decisions, and will the players then only know somewhere between about an hour and a half or 2 hours between the games of the other group and the start of the match?
No, footballers are creatures of habits, as you know. We like to work every game in the same manner. The players will find out the team 2 hours before kickoff or 3 hours before kickoff, and we're going to prepare it in that manner. It's not going to change a lot. We got the idea. We know what we're going to do. We know how we're going to play. And it's just a matter of making sure that everyone gets through the session in a good way and in a positive way for everyone to be involved, that we feel they need to be starting the game tomorrow.
So they will know before the outcome of the games?
No, 3 hours before kickoff.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach and Stefan. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.